Charles is not that brain dead. You're just a damn fraud. Something I've never understood is that people think Charles is some insane character that you can't beat because he can counter you, in theory, an infinite amount of times. However, with the slightest bit of damn sense, which most JJS players seem to lack, he becomes probably the most mid-tier character, next to Megumi. So, here are some should and shouldn't do's that will help you beat basically any Charles. Unless you suck. Which, if you thought Charles was OP or something prior to this, you definitely do. First off, keep some distance. I know, this is a Battlegrounds fighting game, but really, this weak MF genuinely cannot do anything to you if you aren't constantly on him. Really, his only ways of getting close are countering a projectile or using sacrilege, but there are multiple issues with both approaches. First, as you literally saw in my counter-approach example, sometimes this shit doesn't even actually send you to the person you countered. Instead, just standing in place and doing some small damage to the attacker. I don't know exactly how often this happens, but it's often enough that I should point it out.
Especially with how many times people have managed to escape my grasp because of this.
And then there's sacrilege, which really doesn't even help them approach much, since it just grabs you then knocks you away from them. Sure, it's unblockable, which people think is absurd, but be so for real. It does like 15 damage tops and doesn't extend unless you screw up. For the second should, we have something I call perfect evasives. This strategy can be used almost anywhere, but can be especially useful against Charles' second move, specifically the aerial variant people love running into. Basically, all you have to do is use your evasive before you would normally be hit. The time frame, from my experience, is pretty generous, being around 0.5 seconds, since that's how long the iframes last from getting up. Using this tech could in theory also work for countering despair, but it would be more of a read than a reaction, since its wind-up and hitbox are not only disjointed, but also really fast. Anyway, let's get into the stupid things you've probably done that you shouldn't be doing. First off, don't hyperactively attack an M1 trades like a rabid fucking dog. Realistically, the average Charles player will just use a counter instead of blocking on the second or third attack you throw. If they're good, maybe even the first. Usually they do exactly that first thing. Most of the time just throwing out counter quickly after they block the first hit. The second thing, if a Charles starts looking away from you, just assume they know about the shut-up counter. It's really easy to notice, especially since most of the bums who play this, aka people who aren't me, no glaze, just walk backwards waiting for you to dash towards them so they can use it, and act nonchalant or some bullshit. You have no idea how much I genuinely hate people who act like that, Charles or not. Also, when fighting Charles, most people don't seem to notice the difference between counter and block. I don't blame them since it's literally meant to be that way, but really just attack them when their block animation stops. That way you can avoid counters and maybe even punish block releases. But yeah, that's all I have to say here as of now. There's way more stuff you can do to slam this character into the ground, but I don't quite have the time to show you all of that. Just take my word for it and use some of the things I showed you. You'll cook Charles players pretty frequently.